Good. Well, officially, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for January's Impact Tour. It's part of a larger Impact Tour series. I am Allie Hagg. I'm the president and CEO of United Way of Racine County. I'm very excited that you have all decided to join us today to learn a little bit more about the impact that United Way does in collaboration with so many other nonprofits. And that's really the main goal of these impact tours, is just to give the community a better idea of how United Way is creating change within the Racine community in partnership with so many amazing nonprofits. After today's impact tour, we're hoping that you'll have a slightly deeper understanding of our work and how it plays a role in the Racine community. I just want to remind everybody that the session today is being recorded. And if you would be so kind to mute yourself unless you are actually speaking, that would be helpful. And it looks like everybody's done that. So thank you so much. Today's impact tour is about an amazing initiative that United Way brought to the community about 11 years ago called Imagination Library. It is an incredible program. We've seen some great results. And joining me today to discuss it is our Chief Operating Officer, Jessica Safransky-Schott. In addition to that, later on in this conversation, we have invited Molly Shimdera to join us. She is a mother of children that participate in Imagination Library, but she is also a school nurse. So we all know that the schools are a little bit busy right now with a simple thing called the pandemic. So if for some reason she has a youngster come into her office, she may need to help that child in lieu of participating in our conversation, but we're hoping that she can join us. And if not, she shared some really great feedback with us that we will provide to all of you today. So if everybody's okay with it, we want to go ahead and get started with our presentation today. Imagination Library provides books through the mail to Racine County residents under the age of 5. Participants receive one book per month at no cost to the families. Jessica, tell me about how the history of Imagination Library has started and how it became to be a United Way of Racine County program.
Sure. So Dolly Parton's Imagination Library was started by Dolly Parton in the mid-90s in her home state of Tennessee, and quickly grew to be a national and now international program. We brought it to Racine County in 2009 and originally started by offering the program just in the western part of our county. So Burlington, Union Grove, Waterford, Rochester, western part of our community. In 2015, we received a grant from this Racine County that allowed us to expand to 2 zip codes east of I-94 in our community. And then in 2016, we did a full expansion to offer this program countywide to any child under age 5 living in Racine County. It's pretty simple the way that it works. Children get signed up and then they receive one book a month from the time they're enrolled until the time they turn 5 and graduate from the program. The first book is always The Little Engine That Could. The last book is always Look Out Kindergarten, Here I Come. And the books that come to families and children in between are age appropriate. So babies will get board books because babies not only look at books, but chew on books. That's part of learning how books work and developing literacy skills and motor skills. So we encourage that. And as they get older, the books kind of follow along with milestones that children are experiencing at various ages in their life. We have the books that are selected by Dolly Parton's book selection committee include bilingual titles. There's world authors, not just American authors. There's a variety of genres: nonfiction, fiction, poetry, some classic titles, some brand new titles, really a wide range of books that children receive when they are enrolled in Imagination Library.
That's great. Now you talked real shortly about the fact that we're an affiliate of the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. Can you talk to the group a little bit about what that means? Because you see United Way of Racine County and then you see Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. Some people might be confused by that.
Sure. So like just about everything United Way does, this is a partnership. So as a local affiliate, we take on certain responsibilities and the Dolly Parton Foundation takes on responsibilities. So United Way of Racine County is one of 24 affiliates that are serving Wisconsin children through Imagination Library. There is about 18,000 children enrolled statewide, and we're really proud of the fact that about 30% of the state's total enrollment is children in Racine County. So as an affiliate, we are responsible for a few things: enrolling local children, promoting the program locally, and covering the cost of the program. So that means that we invest about $30 per child per year for up to 5 years that they are in the program. So we have over 5,500 children enrolled. So it's a significant investment, but it's also very cost effective because being an affiliate gives us access to the book order system, which is the database that manages all of the children and the book ordering process. And Imagination Library manages the book selection, the wholesale purchasing of the books, and coordinates all of the mailings. So it's not like we have stacks of thousands of books in our office. All of that is handled centrally through the Imagination Library program so that we can benefit from some of the cost savings that come from an endeavor like that.
Awesome. And one of the favorite things that I like to hear about is the experience of children receiving the books, which I know we'll get into a little bit more detail later. But can you talk about what happens when a child is signed up for Imagination Library?
Yeah, so when a family finds out about Imagination Library, their family can go online to our website. It's unitedwayracine.org. There's always a button on our homepage that shows families how to enroll in Imagination Library. Once that happens, that child gets added to the book order system, and Julie, a member of our team, goes in and goes through the process of validating addresses and approving those additions. Once the child is added to the book order system, that starts a whole flurry of activity. So every month, the book order system shuts down to process all new additions and graduate all of our kiddos that have turned 5. And this happens for thousands of affiliates across the United States, not just for us. In that process, the book order is created. So every month, the number of books needed for every affiliate is ordered specific to the needs of that month. The labels are created, and then that order is sent to Penguin Publishing, which is the firm that publishes all of the Imagination Library books. They're all printed in New York and then shipped to a processing warehouse in Tennessee. There, the books are shrink wrapped, labeled, bundled by zip code, and then sent to a bulk mailing facility, which then sends those books out through the U.S. Postal Service. So that's why it's not instantaneous when a child signs up for Imagination Library. A book doesn't appear the next day. This is a process that's constantly happening throughout the month, and in fact kind of overlaps month over month. So it takes about 90 days from the time a child is enrolled to the time that that first book starts to arrive at their home. But then once they're in the book order system, their book is ordered and processed every single month, and they receive a book every month beyond that. So if you enroll a child and you're like, where is my book? Make sure that you give it about 90 days to make sure that that entire process has taken place. It's also important for parents to understand that they need to contact us directly to update their address if they move at any point. The books are not forwarded because of the class of mail that is used, which helps with cost savings, but then means that books are not forwarded. And changing an address with the postal system doesn't change the address in the book order system. So if you have a kiddo enrolled, all you have to do is reach out to us, and we're happy to help you with that process to make sure that kids keep getting books.
So can you talk a little bit about the impact that Imagination Library has on its community?
Yeah, there's so many great things. Imagination Library receives lots of barriers to families having books in their home. You don't have to go to the library and maybe worry about having fines. You don't have to go to a bookstore. You don't have to coordinate that happening when those organizations or institutions are open. It just comes right to your door. You don't have to try to pick, is this a good book? Is this an interesting book? Will my kid like this book? Having had 2 of my own children enrolled in the program, I can say like they love every book that comes because it's really exciting to get mail and get a book that is just your own. And when that happens, we're building home libraries, which is important when kids live in print-rich environments. Their education outcomes are improved. Just having books in the home is shown to have an impact on future literacy skills and academic success because kids aren't born knowing how books work. So having them around you allows you to explore them and figure out how do you open and close a book and turn a page and look at these pictures and these squiggles, tell a story. And so we see families having more books in their home, but we also see families spending more time reading together and because they have something there and it's handy. So it's easy for them to plop a kid on their lap and read a story together. And because this program is county-wide, we see lots of kids of the same age getting the same books, which means a kiddo from my home and a kiddo from another home are going to start kindergarten quite likely with some of the same books. And so right away on day 1 of school, they have something in common. They both know Llama Llama, or they both know The Little Engine That Could. And so it's creating that love of reading and relationships.
Yeah, I think it does a great job of capturing a lot of United Way's philosophies, United Way of Racine County, specifically of being proactive, investing early on so that we see benefits and results at the later years of our kiddos, which is so crucially important. We want to start them off with a good foundation. So with that, we want to pivot a little bit, and I want to see if Molly was able to join us this afternoon. Do we see her on the list?
I haven't seen her in the waiting room yet.
Okay. All right. So we are going to transition into having some just general information about Imagination Library on the screen. And Jessica, I believe that you're going to cover this portion. Is that accurate?
Yeah. So
okay.
Because we thought we needed Molly to be available to serve her students just in case, she was able to provide us some information answering the same questions that we would have asked if she was able to join us in person. So Molly has 3 children, and 2 of them have been part of Imagination Library. Malachi is 7, so he's graduated already. He's turned 5, and Micah is just about to turn 5. So she's kind of reaching the end of her time in Imagination Library, but she's been enrolled since she was 7 months old. And this is Micah and Molly and some of their favorite Imagination Library books. So when a book comes in the mail, one of the things that we hear most from our families is just how excited kids are to be able to check the mail and find something in that mailbox that's for them. And it happens to be a brand new book that is just for them. The books come addressed to the child. So as they get older and start to be able to read, they can start to pick out their name on their book's mailing address. So Molly shared that when it is book day, Micah is so excited to open that mailbox and find a book addressed just to her. She has to open it by herself. All of the books come shrink wrapped to keep them protected from the elements. So there's a little element of getting to open something, and then it's time to start reading. If you've ever hung out with a kiddo, whatever the new thing is in their life is the thing. And so Molly shares that those books go into heavy rotation as they get read over and over and over. And from a perspective of a parent, what's the benefit of enrolling a child in Imagination Library? It makes it so easy. We talked about some of the barriers that it removes, and it's literally as simple as signing up, filling out a form online, waiting a few weeks, and then every month opening that mailbox to find a new book waiting for you. We hear from a lot of families, Molly's included, that the books that are provided are not necessarily books that families would choose on their own, or have maybe thought to look into more, but that they love the books. I will say, every year, the books seem to become more diverse, more colorful, more exciting to read. There's certainly, I think children in our community can see themselves represented in the books that arrive in their mailbox, and that's really important. So that is just a little bit of the perspective of a parent who has children participating in the program.
That's great. And maybe Molly will be able to join us before we close out, and we could incorporate her into the conversation somewhat, but I'm happy that she was able to provide that information. One of the things that I don't think we've mentioned yet, but that I love about Imagination Library is that it's available to any child, under the age of 5 in Racine County. So there's no income restrictions. So any family can register their child to participate, which I absolutely love, and have known many people that have registered. I think we brought it east of the eye just after my youngest, Adeline, turned 5, and she wasn't able to sign up. And I was so disappointed. It's such a wonderful program. Now, this program can only be successful with partnerships. Jessica, can you talk a little bit about the partnerships that are helping to create the success of Imagination Library?
Yeah, absolutely. In the several years that we've operated Imagination Library locally as an affiliate, the number of partners in this work has just continued to grow and grow and grow. So we work with all 5 public libraries in Racine County to help share information with the families. And also, when a child turns 5 and they graduate, the family receives a happy birthday postcard that's sent to the child. And the families can actually take that postcard to any of our Racine County public libraries and exchange it for a super reader medal. And while they are there, we encourage the families to sign up for a library card if they don't have them already, so that they can continue that love of reading and finding books together and continuing to grow in their literacy skills. We also work with healthcare providers like Advocate Aurora and Ascension with their pediatrics department and their labor and delivery teams to make sure that when families are coming in and they have children under age 5, they're aware of this opportunity to sign up for Imagination Library. Both of the health departments that serve Racine County are really critical partners in this work. They both have public health nurses that work one-on-one with families through home visitation, through vaccination, through a variety of services. And again, they share the information and help families sign up right on the spot when they're helping them with other things. We certainly work with all of our nonprofit partners, Racine County Extension, Higher Expectations, to share the information far and wide, and work very closely with all of the school districts in the county, particularly their early childhood departments, to help them enroll any 3 and 4K students they have if they aren't already enrolled, so that they can get those home libraries up and running before those kiddos enter kindergarten. So that's really one part, is is working with organizations and institutions to share information about Imagination Library and help families understand how to sign up. The other really key partnership comes with our donors. We talked a little bit about how many children are enrolled and what the investment is to make that happen. And so we have many individual and corporate donors, particularly SC Johnson, who believe in and support Imagination Library and help us ensure that families can continue to participate in the program at no cost to the families. We're always open to new partnerships, whether that's a child care center or a school or other type of provider that wants to share information with families. We have posters, we have electronic resources, we have print resources, informational cards that we can provide if you want to have those out in your waiting room or to share with your families or whatever the case may be. And we are also always happy to speak with individual and corporate partners who may be interested in making an investment in our children by supporting Imagination Library.
Yeah, we are so very thankful for all those partnerships. Now, we are going to get to questions, and if you have questions, we recommend that you put them in the chat and we will get to them very shortly. We're going to open that portion up just in 1 minute. But before we get to that, can you talk about how community members can get involved and support Imagination Library if they're interested?
Yeah, I jumped ahead a little bit. I was excited. So all of those things I just talked about. First of all, if you have children in your family that are under age 5 and they live in Racine County, please sign them up. We are committed to continuing to grow this program throughout the community. So as many children as can be enrolled as possible, we're all about it. So all you have to do is go to our website, unitedwayracine.org, and it's /IL. There's always a button on our homepage where you can quickly enroll children. It's a really pretty fast and simple process. Second, help us promote. If you know people in Racine County with young children, or maybe you're an employer or a service provider and you would like to have that information to share, we're happy to provide that. And third, you can make a donation in support of Imagination. A donation of $30 provides a year of books to one child in the program. And I'm hard pressed to think of where else you could take $30 and get 12 brand new, really awesome quality books.
Yeah, that's so true. We are going to open up for questions. I did not get a message from Jen yet, so I'm assuming that we haven't had anything come through the chat. While you're thinking about questions, if you have questions, just a couple of reminders, feel free, once again, enroll your children. If you have family members that live in Racine County, refer them to the program. I think lots of times there's misconceptions that there's some type of hitch with signing your child up to IL, and that's absolutely not the case. In fact, we are contractually obligated not to approach IL participants for donations or engagement for fundraising. So you are kept separate. Those individuals are just, the kiddos are getting the books. We want them to get the books and we want to support that process. So encourage people. It's a great program. I've never had any person complain about their experience with Imagination Library. Share information with others. Pass it around. Happy to have you do that. And then also you have the option to make a donation. So Lisa asked, can teachers and pediatricians promote this program? If so, how is the best way for us to set that up? And absolutely, Jessica, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. We have posters that we can provide if anybody wants to have a physical sign up on the wall or wherever makes sense. We also have some very nice, colorful cards that provide information for families of how to sign up. I think knowing that it exists and then talking to students, talking to patients, talking to families about, hey, this is a resource for our families. It's truly free. There's no hitch. We don't We don't share your name, or sell your information. It truly is to provide books to families. And sometimes people serving as kind of a trusted advisor and saying like, this is a real thing, and we invite you to participate, is a really great way to do that.
Yeah. We had a question about what is the best way to share information on social media. So United Way of Racine County, if you follow us on social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we do posts every month regarding Imagination Library. Feel free to share the information that we have provided already on our own social media. That's a great way to do it. Otherwise, if you have specific information that you're looking for to share on social media, you can contact our staff and we're happy to give you details that you're looking for and even help you create something special to put out on your own social media page.
Yeah. Ellie, I had a question that came through, I think just to me, and it was about what do our numbers look like right now? So I'll share that information if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, sure, go for it.
So right now we have 5,546 children enrolled. It actually could be higher. It was as of yesterday, and we're in the adding part of the month. So those numbers increase literally every day. Since 2009, we've had 6,837 children graduate. So that means since 2009, we've had 12,384 participants overall. Again, that number keeps ticking up every single day. In 2021, we mailed just under 69,000 books. And since starting the program in 2009, we have mailed 345,298 books. Again, that number increases every single month. But as somebody who loves to read, I love to sit and think about what the pile of books would look like if we had them all in one place. So truly a big impact in our community, and numbers that we're really proud of, because each one of those represents a child who's being exposed to books and loving reading.
Yeah, 100% agree. It's such a great program. Any other questions? Jody, can we sign up other families with children as a gift from United Way, or should it be, do you see the whole question, Jessica?
Mm-hmm. Yep, okay. So the question's about if other people can sign up children. We encourage families to sign themselves up because parents will have an account created in the book order system where they'll be able to use their email address and log in to see what the status of their enrollment is. And then they'll also get all of the information that they need in case they move or need to change their address or get in touch with us otherwise. So it's a really great question.
Well, we are getting to the end of our time with all of you, and we want to be respectful of everybody's days. We know everybody's super busy. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank Jessica for highlighting Imagination Library with me today. I hope that you feel like you learned a little bit more about this initiative, and one that is very near and dear to our hearts as a United Way staff. We have impact tours monthly. In February, we'll be highlighting focus on community. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about that organization, please consider joining us. You can sign up and register for impact tours or see previous recordings at the website unitedwayracine.org/impact-tour. So it's on the screen right in front of you. So once again, I just want to thank everybody for joining us today, and I hope that you all have a great rest of your day. Happy Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thank you. You as well. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.